I said last year when I was on the big boy stage rather than in the little room here, the model for tech support used to be a break-fix thing. It used to be companies... Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
You need to stay there for recording.
I'll stay here. Okay, hang on. Let me just move the wires. Used to be companies had a break-fix model for support. So you'd wait for an issue to arise and then you'd contact somebody like Britannic with it, which meant you were accepting of downtime, you're accepting of those times of lost productivity, and you're accepting those unforeseen expenses that you'd incur through that time. And it meant that you couldn't really anticipate or proactively address the rising customer demand, and you'd have a backlog in tickets, and high demand would be a real problem to deal with. And then, as we spoke about today, and as I spoke about last year, that's not really the world we live in anymore. We've got to provide much more pastoral care to make sure that we've got adoption and that success criteria met and that outcomes are being delivered upon. And that's what Britannic have always done. We've always been about more than just providing technology. What we do is we, as Jason spoke about, spend time understanding what customers need to do. We get a nice broad view of the market. We can start bringing some of those insights about what's happening in the market to our customers so we can really instill some change. And then we've got things like the success program that Jason spoke about and kindly read through the how-to guide that I'd written on the success program. We've got the free of charge analytics tool, which again, Jason spoke about, which is adding a lot of power into kind of the engagement that we have with customers. We've got the innovation hub that Jonathan mentioned in his speech earlier, which is kind of bringing new technologies to our customers to help kind of move the dial forward. And then we've got a really broad view of capability within our portfolio, which helps us bring our expertise and helps our customers have the confidence that they've got the backing of some of the globe's biggest vendors to support the kind of solutions that they purchase from us. Now, this one, Jason read verbatim my notes from the slide. So we'll skip over this one, but it's important to say that we live by our values. This is important to us, that we do want to collaborate with people. We do want to work in partnership. We do want to build trust. We have trust with you guys. We want to make sure that we can innovate and then we can deliver excellent solutions. So it is something that we live by. It is something that we want to bake into everything that we do. So the obligatory statistics. I was at an event yesterday where Sir Chris Hoy spoke, and he said that 78% of statistics are made up. And I can't possibly argue with Sir Chris Hoy. However, I didn't make these up. The sources are on there, and I can give you the sources afterwards if you so wish. But as we spoke about before, and it seems quite trite to say in front of this audience, but customer experience is the crucial battleground for every organisation today. We've got 73% of customers say they'll abandon a brand after multiple negative experiences. We've also got research from Salesforce that backs that up as well. That says 71% of customers have ended business relationships due to poor customer service. And there's further backup for that from the likes of Microsoft, which I can share if you believe Chris Hoy and not me later on. The second one, downtime risks. So this is from the Uptime Institute. They reported that the majority of outages could be avoided if you had better management. That's more proactive maintenance, better monitoring, and that kind of underscores the value of managed services, obviously what I'm here to talk about. And through the managed services, you get more continuous oversight, you get more preventative maintenance, and you can mitigate the risks that might cause some of that 80% of downtime. And then 50% of businesses are not equipped to resource for peaks in demand. So you might have exponential growth, you might be able to deliver on the product, you might initially appear profitable. However, your back office hasn't scaled at the same rate, you haven't got the resources, you can't put people in to deliver upon this properly. And then the nice quote, which I think is from Harry Truman, but might be older than that amateurs worry about strategy, dilettantes worry about tactics, and professionals worry about logistics. So you've got to worry about how you're going to feed the army, how you're going to clear that backlog and make sure things are progressing in the right way. So what I'm here to talk about, I'm here to talk about managed services. And the Gartner definition is up there, but it's about moving beyond the traditional break-fix model. So it's not accepting the fact that something bad's going to happen before you deal with it. It's having a proactive approach. We're not just responding to issues, we're working to prevent them, we're working to improve operations and make sure the technology is working for our customers. So what do we do, and why is Britannic's managed service a little bit different? Well, the definition we've put up there, which was written by Andrew, thank you, Andrew. our offering adds an extra layer of intelligence. So we support the operational outcomes. As we've spoken about a few times through the presentations today, we're really keen on we get that sorted. So it's not just looking at the technical delivery, it's looking at the business outcomes that we need to deliver. We're not just looking to keep the lights on, we're looking to make business change. And as those businesses have demanded more outcome-oriented solutions, there's more involvement from operational teams. It's not just IT teams that we deal that have technical knowledge anymore. We're dealing with more operational people, frontline people that have a stake in this kind of technology. There's been a real shift in the industry towards offering managed services. That, if you just have that standalone tech approach, you're not looking at anything to do with efficiency or adoption. You're not kind of working to make sure that there's value being driven from the technology. You're just purely putting in technology for technology's sake, something which Ross was talking about before. And we do that. We look across 4 key areas. We look across the people, the data, the technology, and the processes, and all of this is baked into the managed service that we provide. So a quick story that'll illustrate this a little bit whilst I'm still getting dripped on. We've got a client who outsourced their contact center. And it was a relatively large client and relatively large contact center that they'd outsourced. And the outsourced agency billed based on the number of bums that were on seats to service that customers need. And they were pressuring our customer, the outsourced agency were pressuring our customer to increase the number of bums that they had servicing their demand. Our customer was going to go with this. They were going to pay the extra fee. And they had the technology available to them. They could have interrogated the information that they had about peaks in demand, peaks in interactions, but they didn't really have the knowledge to do that. But through our service review process, we were able to tell them that the peaks aren't as peaky as you think they are, or that they're being told, and they just need to handle that demand better. That meant that they could deploy the resources that we were going to send to an external party. They could deploy those resources internally more strategically to hit what they needed to do, rather than pay somebody else to do something that they should have been doing already. And it's that real value in real time and those kind of insights that change the game and support the case for managed services. So what do we get from a managed service? So traditionally, managed services include moves, adds, changes and deletions, MACDs. We might get some enhanced SLA, so quicker turnaround times, better resolution times. And you might also extend into things like business continuity planning, security patching, proactive alarming. And that's definitely super valuable. Just MACDs on their own can be massively beneficial to a customer who doesn't necessarily have the resource in their team to do that. They can offboard that to somebody else. They can take it on. You can use the external party's expertise, almost like outsourcing, like our customer was doing with their contact center. But that's not really providing subject matter expertise, and it's not really acting as a business partner. It's not really providing any best practice information. It's just doing something that they can't be bothered or don't have the resource to do themselves. So what we do is we go slightly further than that. So like I said, we add a layer of intelligence into our managed service, and we aim to provide some actionable insights. So some of the things that Jason said, who's gone for a wee again probably, that we've got the diagnostic tool, the AI insights tool, which allow us to ingest a load of information and surface insights. We build that into the managed service as well. So this is baked into the success program and the managed service that we operate. And it means that our customers can really move away from those day-to-day operations and focus more on those strategic imperatives and have us acting as a business partner. So it's not just the lights are staying on, but we're providing best practice information so you can drive more value and get more return from the investment that you're making in the technology that you take from somebody like Britannic. That nice high and wide view of the outcomes means that we can mold the technology to support that, and then in tandem with the customer success program, you're setting effective data-led roadmaps that help you get there. So we go beyond the standard, we add insights into some critical areas, and that can include things like, what have we got on there? We've got call analysis, we've got things like the digital enablement, we've got your contact center operations. All of that gets brought together so we can surface some important trends and keep the end goals in mind. Not going to be quite as quick as Jason. So that's the mechanics of what you get in a managed service, but why would a customer be interested in taking a managed service from Britannic? So there's a few examples that we can offer. We're the subject matter experts. Like I said, we do this all day, every day. We've done it for 40 years. So we can help you focus on the strategic imperatives rather than get bogged down in the BAU stuff that you may otherwise do. We've got a really well-crafted and proven set of processes designed to help us get long-term success. And that commitment's borne out by the NPS scores that were spoken about in the main room earlier, where we've got a net promoter score of 71, where our industry average is 40 or below even. And how many people can you, our customers, put into managing this infrastructure that you might purchase from Britannic? And how much knowledge do they really have about that technology? How hard is it to find, recruit, train, skill technical resource? And how many other things do they have to do in their day-to-day role, which is not just managing the technology that we provide? This is what we do all day, every day. We're a company, we're not an individual, so we don't have to worry about increased NI contributions. We don't have holiday time, there's no sick days, you don't have to train us, there's no recruitment costs, that all sits with Britannic. And the subject matter experts that we have, like I say, can augment the capability in your existing teams and lift the skills and knowledge that are available, and most importantly, be an extension of your team, be the business partner that advocates for the better use of technology within your organisation. That means that you don't have to be resourced for that kind of those peaks of demand. So the example I'd give for this one is we work with a lot of universities, and don't know if anyone knows about universities, but there's a really crucial period for universities just after A-level results come out, clearing. And every student that an institution picks up through the clearing process is worth about £40,000 to the institution. So the more students that they can hook out of the pool, or potential students they can hook out of the pool, the better. And these students are they've either got better results or worse results than they were expecting, and they've panicked. So they're ringing around institutions looking for someone to take them on. So it's really important that the infrastructure for the universities is absolutely bomb-proof for that week, to make sure there's no downtime, so make sure they're not losing the opportunity to pick up those multiple £40,000. It could be devastating if they miss out on the opportunity to pick those up. So the resource that we've got gets deployed throughout August to go to universities to help them be skilled and have enough resource to manage the peaks in demand that they have through that month. That's doing the load testing with them, that's providing best practice information, that's helping them tweak processes and flows to make sure that calls are going to come through successfully on that crucial week. And by doing that, the institutions don't have to pay for that resource year round. We can bear that cost, we just need to give them that additional help when they're ready for it. Yeah, and our customers have got full access to the spectrum of Britannic's resources. So that's not only a wealth of expertise, but also predictable costs. So rather than you coming up with an idea that you've got a particular team that needs to change or needs to be updated, and then speaking to your account manager at Britannic, getting some details, getting a statement of works written, going to your line manager to request the business case, getting a purchase requisition done, going to finance, getting a PO raised, sending that to us, we have to process it, and then we get somebody assigned to do the work. We can shortcut all that. You're taking a managed service from Britannic, you let us know that you've got a change to make. As long as it's an authorised change, we'll just get it scheduled and get it done. So we're deeply integrated into your operation. We can do things like, we can do things like taking a view into capacity management. We can look at trends in the data. We can look at bottlenecks, pinch points, recurrent issues, and loads more. There was an article I read in Computer Business magazine that stated that managed services can deliver people without managed services experience 20 to 30% lower productivity because there's unaddressed issues in the infrastructure. There's inefficiencies, there's loops, best practice isn't being adhered to, there's no automation, and that really impacts on employee and customer satisfaction. So again, the expertise and resource we can deliver is transformational. Right, service delivery management. To me, this is a real standout piece. It's a stackable piece on top of the managed service, but to me, it's a really valuable part of the offer that Britannic have. Traditional service delivery management might be looking at ticket handling, incident response, and uptime monitoring, but we take the SDM role a little bit further, so we offer proactive insights and strategic support. so we can align technology to business goals. To me, it's more like technical account management, really, than SDM, the service that we offer. And when you link the SDM role with the account management role that my team provide, and the success program and the steps that we go through in there, we can really help kind of move the needle forward. We can dig into performance, we can offer data insights, and that's not just the stuff that's immediately obvious, it's the stuff that sits below that as well. And this bit is going to really make me feel a bit sick, but I'm going to say some nice things about Reese, who's at the back of the room there. Reese does a really good job for me on a lot of the accounts that I work with. He's not just there to review tickets. He analyses trends, he looks at the overall health of systems, and then he makes some really positive data-driven recommendations. And then he analyses user behaviour as well. So he does things like helps customers optimise core routing, implement dynamic shifts even, and offer new options that can help improve their engagement with customers. I'm not going to do that. So there's a downtime piece that I mentioned before. I've got a stat here, but it's from 2017, so take it with a pinch of salt if you want. But there's an expectation here that downtime costs approximately £4,300 per minute on average across the UK. So it's broad. It's taken in some small business and some very large businesses. And it says that this article from 2017 also suggested that the average incident of downtime lasted for 90 minutes. So 90 minutes, £4,300 is a lot of money. I have got the sum here, so I could. Anyway, so proactive monitoring, like I said, that preventative downtime, we can help protect against that. So we can reduce that downtime, and that risk is something that Reese helped me deal with another customer. They had a kind of a regular low-level issue which was raised as a ticket a couple of times, but the service impact was really low. The customer wasn't overly concerned about it. It was very intermittent. Like I said, a couple of people have been impacted by it over a couple of months. Didn't get raised to any level. I wasn't aware of it. But Reese took the time to have a look into it, and he picked up that it was potentially a precursor to a much larger issue, which could have had a huge operational impact on the customer. So from doing that, he was able to escalate it to the right eyes in the customer. He was able to articulate the nature of the problem really clearly, and he was able to put in place a structured plan that meant that they didn't see that impact, which could have been absolutely devastating. But Reese's expertise headed it off, and that's one example of the many times I've been pleased that I've had Reese on my accounts, and that's the last nice thing I'm going to say about him. That's enough. So the role of the SDM, whether it's Reese or somebody else that's in the team, it's not just focused on a single product, it's about the customer. So if you've got multiple products within the solution set, if you've got a mix of technologies, multiple support teams, disparate departments within the organisation that kind of don't necessarily talk to each other or share best practice, the SDM role from Britannic delivers that nice integrated view, looking over all the elements of those solutions and to ensure that the customer experiences meets expectations and translates across silos. Nice slide that we've all seen a few times today. So the managed services aren't just about managing systems. We're here to empower organisations to thrive. Our approach is designed to deliver actionable insights so our clients can see beyond the daily grind and move towards a future of continuous improvement and success. That's exactly what it says on the slide. Read that one. And then through the customer success program, we're actively driving value into our clients, helping them to continually enhance customer experience. Whatever the goals are, we're here to provide the advice which will help you get there. Hopefully, so we can deepen the benefit that you see from the relationship with Britannic. I was a little bit longer than Jason, but that's about it. Does anyone have any questions on our managed services? No? Thank you very much, everyone.